All right, let's move into the NFL. We have got a lot.
We're just gonna leave that hanging there
to cover here. We are doing our annual preseason.
God, I'm just embarrassed. Packers colors. I have a Vikings jersey.
Yeah, you fudged it up, man.
Son of a.
We're doing our annual preseason.
This does not bode
ritual.
well for
Will
our
you
season.
shut up? I'm introducing a segment.
Sorry, buddy.
He always laughs when I tell him that.
Well, because
I got to do it. Otherwise
you're
I gotta keep
right.
going.
You're right.
Buy, sell, or hold. Now, if you're not familiar with this game, when we say we're looking at each team, all 32 teams, past season record, and we're saying we're buying that they're going to have the same record. We're selling, saying that they're going to be worse. Or no, buying that they're going to do better, selling that they're going to do worse, or holding, thinking they're going to do pretty much the same. And we're going to go division by division, and since I have two NFC North guys with me, we're going to start there. So, and we're going in order from how each team finished in the division last year. So, number 1, Packers, 13-3. Brandon, you buy, sell, or hold the Packers?
I mean, I don't think they're going to go 13-3 again, but that doesn't necessarily mean that this is technically a going down in wins, but it's not really a sell. It's more of a hold. But I got them going with 11. I got them 11-5.
Okay.
In the NFC North. Basically the same as last year. You know, they won a lot of close games. They won't win all of them like last year.
Yeah.
But I still think they're a really good team.
I'm gonna sell as well, but that doesn't. That's the trick of the sell. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna have a losing season in this case. But I would agree. I would say 10 to 11 wins seems to be the target. So I would agree with you there. I would sell.
Mm. I'm gonna sell as well. I don't think.
Of course, the Vikings fans sell.
Well,
I'm joking. Go ahead.
Douche. I think 13-3. I think most people recognize that was a better record than, a lot of the ball fell their way a lot in a couple games. So yeah, I'm thinking 10-11 wins. I don't think. You might think that I'm being a homer about this, but I think the Vikings will. It will be between the Vikings and Packers for the NFC North because the Bears and the Lions suck. But
isn't it always
I really
that the last
do.
couple years?
This weekend is going to tell us a lot about this season, even though I don't think we play each other again until later in the season.
No, it's week 8 or 9.
Okay, yeah. So it's going to tell us a lot, but not everything. Obviously, week 8 or 9 will tell us more. But I do like my Vikings to win the division this year, but sell on the Packers just because I don't think they're going to get 13 wins again. I don't think they're going to have a losing season either. They're just not going to have. That's a really good record. That doesn't happen often. So I'm thinking 10-11 wins too.
Alrighty.
So
same question, but for the Vikings. And being the Vikings guy, Tyler.
I'm going to kind of pretty much do what Brandon did with the Packers, which is kind of a hold. I could see them getting 11 wins, but again, their defense to me is pretty suspect in some key areas, and their offensive line in key areas too. So after week 1, I'll be more sure of what my answer is here. But hold, I think we're going to win the division. It'll come down to tiebreakers, 10-11 wins. I'm thinking a hold, not necessarily a buy or a sell, just a hold.
I'm going to say hold as well. I think 10-6 is their ceiling, in my opinion. So
quite possibly.
And and that's the thing is I don't think the Vikings are bad by any stretch, but I think 10-6 with Kirk Cousins as your quarterback.
They have some key holes.
Yeah.
Is the big deal with the Vikings.
So I'm going to hold in the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too far off. I like the Vikings. I think they'll be pretty solid. I have them at 11 wins as well. I have them and Green Bay being tied in record at the end of the season. So, but I think that there's a better chance Green Bay is a little bit better than Minnesota this year, just by what we've been talking about. They've got a little bit better quarterback, and they've got a little bit more sound on the defensive end. As crazy as that sounds.
The key holes that I'm talking about with the Vikings, the Packers don't have those. Where we have the real big difference, I mean, the only advantage we have over the Packers, honestly, is we have a dearth of talent at wide receiver. You guys have Devontae Adams and 8 guys whoever, you know what I mean? I would love to see, as an Iowa person, knowing that Alan Lazard is from Iowa, even though he played for the Cyclones, I would love to see Lazard like just turn it on and be that second guy or even a first guy.
I think he will. I think he'll have it. I think
You never know. He's been improving leaps and bounds. You don't know. I'm just saying, but
yeah, I think he is going to have a break.
the keyholes that the Vikings have, the Packers don't, and then the Vikings have more talent at the wide receiver position. But that's really, I think you still on a if you're rating if you're picking between Rodgers and Cousins, you're picking Rodgers.
All right, moving on to the Bears. Dub Bears, 8-8 last year, and I am going to sell. I think they're going to regress, and especially because of the Mitch Trubisky thing. Now, look, I haven't been at camp. I don't know how that happened.
Foles hasn't won the job, has he?
No.
Trubisky got the job.
Trubisky is the starter. And I think, and honestly, it really feels like this wasn't a legitimate giving him the starter position because he earned it. I think it was a lot of the coach. And
what else are we gonna do?
I don't know the name of the Bears coach.
Nagy.
I think that was a statement from Nagy. Like, he's our guy. We're sticking with him. Trust me on this one. This was a good. We didn't screw up. We didn't screw up and not get Mahomes or Watson. We didn't blow this. He's gonna be our guy instead of.
We gave up the farm to trade up one freaking spot when he would have still been there.
At the same, also I could see the argument that Nick Foles underperformed at Jacksonville, but come on, it was Jacksonville's offensive line that
it's becoming clearer and
that
clearer.
would cause that.
Yeah.
So I think just on that alone, if they could maybe get Nick Foles in the middle of the season, turn things around if Trubisky is underperforming like he will, then maybe I could see them getting back to an 8-8 or 9-win season. But I'm selling. I think they're gonna have a bad year. Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, I think 8-8 is as good as they're going to be. I think that they'll be competitive, but not good enough to make the playoffs. The NFC is going to be loaded,
Too
so
stacked, yeah.
you're going to need at least 10 wins, maybe more, to make the playoffs in the NFC this year. So I have Chicago at 7 to 8 wins, competitive but not.
So you're holding on.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I think it's becoming more and more clear as the years go on that Nick Foles got lucky that year that he was with Philadelphia.
Maybe.
Like he had that
One
like
season wonder.
he had that like Trent Dilfer and like Brad Johnson moments. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, holy crap, and almost Case Keenum. I remember you, Case, buddy. I know you're sitting at home. Okay,
I know you're watching.
I really do. I think it was a legitimate competition, and they were like, "Well, crap, Foles is not the guy that everybody thinks he is, or whatever. He's just consistently not good." And then he just turned it on that one season, whatever. As Brandon said, I think they'll be competitive because their defense. I have their defense in one of my fantasy teams because they're going to destroy Detroit week 1. I'm kind of in the same thing. I want to hold. I want to sell because I don't think they're going to get to 8-8. I think they're going to be more 6 or 7 wins. But yeah, they're not gonna do anything in the playoffs or anything like that. Trubisky's just a nightmare. I can't. Every Bears fan I know is just like.
All right, so let's go from north to south. The NFC South. Number 1 last year was the Saints at 13 and 3.
Did we do the Lions?
No Lions.
Oh yeah, well.
I mean,
sorry, I did.
God, I want to shit talk
Sorry,
the Lions. Come on.
Okay, are we all gonna sell? Detroit Lions.
I'll buy.
I think they're better than 3.
12-1.
Yeah, I'll buy.
You'll buy? Okay.
Yeah, I'm buying as well. I think they get 5 or 6
Yeah,
this year.
I think they improve.
Matt Stafford is back and hopefully healthy.
Mm-hmm.
That'll give you 2 or 3 more wins.
Yes, exactly.
He's still a really good quarterback.
Yeah, and I think they do have a couple of interesting offensive weapons. You know, what is it? What is that one guy's name? It's not Galladay.
They have Galladay and Marvin Jones.
It is Galladay. Yeah, Galladay is one of those guys that you'll pick up in fantasy. Yeah, you'll pick him up in fantasy though because you know he's going to get some good yards. So yeah, and their defense, I don't know, we'll see, but yeah, I do agree. I think they're better than 3 wins, but not much.
Oh, okay. I can see that. Yeah,
it's
really,
not a hard buy.
It really all depends on Stafford. We've seen it time and time again. He is the backbone of that team. So I will buy, but again, yeah, I'll probably
not too many shares.
5 or 6. You know, yeah, no, I'm not going to buy big stock.